Right, week 7 is done, and all in all, a very good training week. I didn't get out for upper or lower one until later in the evenings, so I wasn't the most energised, but I managed to pull out some really good performances on those. I was planning on training Monday through to Thursday this week to allow a couple of days rest before my comp on Sunday, but I just was not feeling it at all on Wednesday, so I stuck to the normal schedule of Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and I still had Saturday as a buffer, so it all worked out well in the end, and the comp went really well for the most part. Yeah, upper 2 wasn't too bad because I got out later in the evening on Thursday and it had cooled down a little by then, but for lower 2 on Friday I had to get out much earlier when it was still absolutely baking and the shed was so hot, but I managed to get it through all of that fine. So yeah, a good week of training all in all. So that's all I really kind of wanted to touch on regarding training this week. You can see how it all went in the clips, but the main topic / rant I have in store for this video is on leg training, because I've seen a fair amount of people's training over the past kind of weeks and months, and I gotta say, some people just need to learn how to push hard and actually train legs. The amount of people I see who train at decently equipped gyms, or they have fancy home setup, yet they still don't have a solid set of legs. I mean, it's just crazy to me. Like, I'm not saying I have the greatest legs in the world, but they're decent, right? They're certainly not twigs. And because of my limited equipment, pretty much the only things I've done to grow them have been big barbell compounds, so squats and deadlifts in various rep ranges and variations. More recently, I've been able to add in the leg extensions and leg curls because of my little leg machine, but the overwhelming majority of my leg training has just been on the big barbell basics. And I just find it baffling how people with much more equipment and options available to them can so often have not progressed even half as well. Like, if you train at a regular commercial gym, you've probably got access to a barbell and a squat rack, but you'll also more than likely have access to a Smith machine, a leg press, various leg curls and extensions, adductor and abductor machines, calf machines. It's not uncommon to see hack squats, pendulum squats, belt squats, all kinds of equipment focused purely on building the legs. And I see people whose squat working weight is like the same or lighter than their bench press. Like, how does that ever make sense? That shouldn't be a thing unless you're an elite bench-only powerlifter or something. And even then, they still have good squats. And the only conclusion I can come to is that those people they must not be training their legs very hard. Because let's not kid ourselves, leg training is hard. It should be hard. In my opinion, a good leg session should scare you a bit. You should be a bit apprehensive of what you're going to do. Each one of my lower days fills me with a bit of dread. The squats on lower 1, the Superman squats and RDLs on lower 2, they worry me. Because I know they're going to be horrifically tough. But that's how you get better. That's how you grow. If you're one of those guys with a bigger bench than your squat, just sort it out. And now I've got that general point out of the way, I have to touch on calf training specifically. Oh my, do I see some calf training that makes me question things. Yes, to an extent, calves do seem to be affected by genetics, perhaps a bit more than other muscle groups. And I'll admit, I've never particularly trained mine with any real consistency, but I have done, a lot of running and cycling over the years, which I think have helped to grow them to a decent size anyway. But in my current plan, calf raises are in, and I'm training them hard. I've worked up from a fairly easy weight to get back into the movement, and now I'm at the point where things are getting challenging, By those final reps of the third sets, they're tough. But I see so many people training calves, and I can only call it a form of ego lifting, I guess. Because clearly they can't be feeling anything with how they're performing the reps. When I do my calf raises, I at least get a full extension. I'm on the balls of my feet, calves flexed, try and hold it for a sec, back down. I'm not necessarily coming to a dead stop, but each rep is like a distinct thing. I see a lot of guys who are barely moving their ankles, like they aren't even close to fully flexing the muscle, and they're just bouncing through the reps. Now, like, are they actually feeling anything? I mean, they're clearly not growing, so I doubt it. I'd assume the weight they're using is just too heavy to allow them to get a full stretch, or they're just not fully engaging the muscle for some reason. And it's bad enough to see this stuff, you know, on like normal calf raise machines or something, but like don't even get me started on people doing like quarter rep calf raises on leg presses or hack squats, you know, with like 300 kilos or something. Like, just get the fuck out of here. Like, either do them properly or just save the time and the fatigue and don't bother. Like, not that there can be much fatigue building up anyway with, you know, all those little bounced quarter reps. But yeah, like, I'm sorry if that came over as really ranty or if I've pissed anyone off, but it just annoys me so much, and I just had to vent my feelings on small legs and bad leg training and bad calf training. So yeah, if this doesn't apply to you, then well done. Keep what you're doing. If it does apply to you, do better, okay? Right, that's all I've got for this week. Thanks for watching, and take care.